15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Miami Dolphins. The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Second down, here's Barkley again. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The Dolphins at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. The tackle made that time by Bryce Callahan. 2nd down and 7.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. That one, a first down pickup of 8. On first down, Willis. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. That's good. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. Saquon Barkley with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They started on the ground with Eckler, and this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Herbert. And that's caught inside the 35. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. On the screen, this is Eckler. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years at not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now it's Herbert. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers have cut the lead back down to 2. Extra point good by Hopkins. And this is now a 1-point game. So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
A tight one. 8-7 our score after one on EA Sports. Now Willis to throw. That's caught left side by Hardman. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7. First and 10, it's Willis. Dancing to his left. Willis takes a hit and the ball is free. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard. Line. Running on first down, Eckler. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler with career touchdown number 75. And the Chargers have moved out in front. So the turnover sets it up, and then a touchdown run here on the ensuing play.
And Brandon, a lot of times you see teams take shots in the passing game on a quick change like this. They go right back and throw one for the end zone. Here they just called a running play looking to get a few yards, but he's able to work his way downfield and take it into the end zone. The end result, the exact same thing as going for it in the passing game.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes this a 14-8 ball game. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Charles, you got to think the number one goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up, then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. Second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It's Eckler again. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. Keeps himself upright. Buying time to it, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This from 54 yards away. Hopkins' kick is good, and that'll boost their lead to 9. It's 17-8. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. This time Willis will throw it on the move to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Okay, ready?
They'll run for it with Barkley. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And he will get enough for a first down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Now this time Willis throwing it. They'll roll him out right. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
They'll run with Barkley. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide us. Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And the Chargers will take over here just shy of the 30.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The Charger drive about to get going. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. After the turnover, here's Herbert. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Check mark 27, check mark 27, target. Mark 27, mark 27, mark 3, defense,
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
check 13. We got trips over here. There's overload. Hey, check mark 27, check mark 27. Hey, I'm coming. Mark 27, mark 27, mark 27.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Check mark 27, check mark 27. Mark 27, mark 27, mark 27.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herbert. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
The final shot before the break for Herbert. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. So we have reached halftime intermission with the visiting Chargers on top as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter. Taken at the goal line. And ultimately he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
Herbert just beat the play clock. This is swung out to Eckler. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play that time on the catch and run. And the Chargers are going to get themselves a fresh set of downs here.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense. Just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 41. Here's Herbert. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes, because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Up the middle with Eckler. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
1st down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Herbert now. Escaping the pressure right. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. Herbert jogs off, and out comes Dustin Hopkins to take this kick for L.A. on 4th down. From the right hash, this from 53. Hopkins' kick is good, and that stretches this lead to 20-8. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change, because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And from the 25, they worked this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Second down throw coming by Willis. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. Willis throws another interception, his 3rd of the game. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
On first down, it's Herbert. Allen's got it complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down. Herbert. Rager catches it left side. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Herbert jogs off, and out comes Dustin Hopkins to take this kick for L.A. on 4th down. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And it bangs off the right upright, no good. And this will stay a 12-point game. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
Eckler now between the tackles. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Herbert. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. Still searching for that first interception in this game and down on the scoreboard. Remember, they won last week, and a big reason why they had 3 picks.
And one characteristic I've always noticed about great defenses is that they want to be the ones that have a huge impact on the game and actually lead their teams to victory. So you just noted 3 interceptions last week, and they won. And a little extra pressure that they're feeling right now because they haven't gotten those interceptions in this game, and they're losing.
Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, L.A. Jalen Guyton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that will make this a 19-point game. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even...
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, 75 yards. And the Dolphins are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Joe Reed going to return it from his end zone. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Now on 2nd and 13. Herbert has it knocked free. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
On is the Chargers punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
No. Check, Bobcat. Check, Bobcat. Ready.
And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
7 yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Jalen Waddle, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. This feels like something we'd see more commonly, CD, in a college game. They give it to the receiver down here in the red zone, but it winds up successful.
Yeah, partner, I think you think it's less likely to find running space to the edge down here close to the end zone where things are so condensed. But a lot of times you end up focusing on the running backs, and they're able to slip it to the receiver, and it resulted in a touchdown.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want...
There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Jalen Guyton. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chargers add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. And one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, 1 play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Xavier Howard.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
And now here is another interception.
Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. Fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. And they will finally haul him down at the Dolphins' 23-yard line. 97 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Once more, here's Eckler. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On the give, this is Eckler. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball and continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. A handoff, it's Eckler, and he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Herbert jogs off, and out comes Dustin Hopkins to take this kick for L.A. on fourth down. This from 32 yards away. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the fourth.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. This offense returning out there, and really you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback. Asante Samuel Jr. that time up to make the tackle. Here's 2nd and 10. Willis to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Derwin James with a pick. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
111 yards on the ground for him so far. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Herbert to a knee, and that should just about write it into this one. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the L.A. Chargers. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Chargers, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they will be at home for one next week against the Las Vegas Raiders. Meanwhile, for Miami, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they will be back home next week for a date with Washington. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.